So let's talk Tua a little bit, Steve. I don't know if you heard his comments yesterday after Chris Greer, the general manager of the Dolphins, said that Tua, quote unquote, needs to be available. Taking chances and risk is unacceptable to us. That Tua said the message has been received, quote unquote, doing everything I can to stay available for the guys. Like I said before in the past, nothing changes with that. It's knowing when it's time to give up on a play, end quote. Do you have any advice for Tua on that front, Steve?
Emmett Smith said it the best. Know when the journey's over. There's a real talent, sophistication, and maturity. You can attack. You can still make plays. Just you're going to have to do it. You're going to have to end it earlier. And that's just how, he's gotten in trouble when you try to be heroic. Josh Allen has stayed healthy while trying to be heroic, and you just got to be smarter than as you age, trying to figure it out. But if you're not going to attack the line of scrimmage, if you're not going to give that threat, you will not be in the Super Bowl. And so he has to figure out a way to present that threat without putting himself at greater risk.
How do you do that?
Rich, come on, it's football. You put the helmet on, you got to go out and play. So no matter what happens, you're at risk. So that's just a fact. Now, how can you reduce the risks to not, spike? And that's why I say that's where the maturity is. But how do you do it? You can and you can't, right? It's the game. And that's why people love football, is because it's got, nobody cares about what they're getting paid the moment of impact, right? They're just, it's a game that draws out the truth. And in many ways, Tua's going to have to, he's in a really tight spot, that's a fundamental truth. He's in a super tight spot to be able to play the game the way it needs to be played and also make sure I remain available. It's a hard spot for him.
Well, I mean, obviously there's hard spots like health-wise in terms of what you're referring to with Tua. Also hard spots contractually. Do you have any advice for Kirk Cousins, who is 37 and seemingly going to be a backup unless the quarterback in front of him gets hurt or another quarterback gets hurt in training camp? Otherwise, he's going to have an earbud week 1 for the Atlanta Falcons, Steve.
Look, this will sound weird with my history, but I never wanted to play the backup. I'd rather do something else. I know. Well, Steve, you were a backup for 4. Yeah, I recognize it was not my choice. That was not the deal that was made, but that's a whole other story. But at the end of your career, you have to just make a fundamental decision. Do you want to retire? When do you retire? When is it okay? When does it matter to you? How do you want to think about it? Mm-hmm. I wanted to retire 49. It was important to me, and that's how I did it. For Kirk, does he? Some guys don't look. I'm a professional quarterback. That's what I am, and I don't have a starting job today, but I'm going to hang in there and be a part of and I'm in the mix, and that's the way I'm cool with that. I'm okay with that as well. It just matters how you see yourself and how you want to finish it out. I suspect that Kirk doesn't it's hard. Rich, anyone who has a dream, even high schoolers, college kids that play sports they love, they have a passion for, when it ends, it's a death. And I think that you have to treat it like a death, and you have to mourn it, and the guys that play it their whole lives, and especially, with Kirk, it's his whole life. Mm-hmm. When it starts to get threatened to be end, you it's not a panic, but it's I would do anything not to have it end. This is what I'm great at.
Right.
I'm not going to be great at anything else. I might be good at something else, but I will never be as great as I am in the rest of my life than what I'm great at right now. And so it's just please give the grace to people to try to figure out how to end it. It's tough.
Well, for him, he would have to speak up and say, I want out, and, treat it like an NBA player, right? I demand a trade, or I don't know if that would work or not. Did you ever?
Well, the landscape is tight right now, Rich.
I know that. I know it, and it's now kind of set. How the NFL is pretty much.
Right.
It's training camp. Everybody's already in training, waiting for training camp right now, and that's the way it's got to be for him. Did you ever say anything publicly to the media that I'm stuck here, send me out of here? Did that ever happen?
I was always super careful about it because I also recognized that I was very lucky to be there. And
why? Because it was Bill Walsh, and it was
there are not many. Yeah, there are not many great places to thrive at that time at quarterback. I mean, there were a few, and that was the one. And I remember the great Steve Covey grabbed me one day in one of my depths of despair and depression and victimization, and I told him how horrible it was that I'm not playing on, and he made the case that this is the greatest opportunity that I've ever seen somebody have, a platform that had Eddie DeBartolo and Bill Walsh and Jerry Rice, and you can ask Joe Montana mentoring questions. You're the luckiest man alive. And it really changed my attitude about it. So you have to learn how to mature your way through some of the dilemmas that you get yourself into. But the best way to give yourself a chance is to not make it a public situation. That's
and so catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.